Hi, and welcome to day 5. You've made it. I'm so excited to have you here with me and make it through the 5-day social media challenge. And so I'm so excited to see how everyone's doing. I love it that everyone's checking in through the Facebook page, and I can really see that it's already working. And this day, I think, is the big day. It's execution day. You've talked about target audiences. You've created content. You've really done your research on platforms. You've realized where your audience needs you to put content. Now it's just time to schedule it. And it's so important because a lot of times that's the missing factor. We have all these great intentions, we're super busy, and then we forget all about it. And so today we're going to talk all about executing and scheduling those social media posts. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. There's some great tools out there, and there's some tips I want to share with you. So if you haven't done it already, please download there we go, our download today. Please download it so you can take advantage of our worksheet and see what's going on and do step-by-step with me today. There's a lot of great links on here too, so you may want to keep it as a reference. Should come out just as a PDF, so it shouldn't be too bad at all. So there's some of the easiest tools that I like to use, not only help me create the content a little bit, but also help me schedule it. So the first two tools I want to talk to you about that we haven't really talked about this week at all, and it's all about visual content. One of my favorites right now is Adobe Spark Post. They have an app as well as the PC version. There's a link to it on this paper, so please click on it, check it out. It's free. You do have to create an account, which I like, because then it stores all of your stuff, so you don't always have to save everything and make sure it's on a desktop or on your phone to share it. It saves it to the platform itself, so you can have it on your phone through the app or have it on the website, so you can download it anywhere you need to, and it downloads as a JPEG or PDF or whatever you need it as. Canva is one that I've used for years. I did a training on it a couple years ago. It's really expanded in the last couple years. They're doing a job keeping up. They now have an app, which is one of the missing pieces they didn't have for a while. And so really it's all about personal preference. Canva, there are a lot more paid things that you need to do. So you might have to pay for some stock photos, where Adobe, I've noticed, has a lot more free applications, but just depending on what you want. Some people, it's personal preference. They like the look of Canva, they like how it works versus the Adobe. So if you've heard Adobe before, yes, it's all the Photoshop people, it's all the same thing. So you may just, if you're more familiar with that, you may like it a little bit better. So beyond creating graphics, social media graphics, you can create headlines, you can create cover photos, you can create events photos. So those kinds of things are really nice, because as we go through our content and our content calendar, one of those things might have said, oh, I need to create an event today, and I need to share that event. Well, one of the parts of the event is you have this great piece of real estate, which is the photo at the top. And so you may want to make sure you create something that fits there, that looks good, that's consistent with your brand. And so those programs will really help you, and either one of those are really great. Another app that I cannot live without is Facebook Pages app. And Facebook tends just to be the one I talk about the most with social media, because a lot of my clients are having great success on Facebook. And so there's actually an app called Pages, which is completely different from your profile Facebook application that you use. But what it does, it links just the pages you're an admin for. And so that's kind of nice too, because then you're not logging into your Facebook and having to see all your personal stuff. This is straight business pages. You can schedule from that application, you can post, you can update photos, those kinds of things right there from the application. So I tend to see a lot of people like using that. Now with Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, it's all part of your regular app. So the Twitter app, you can actually switch between users. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. So if you have a personal Twitter account and a business, you can switch easily. Instagram just integrated that as well in the last year. So that's really nice. Instagram, you can only have up to 5 accounts. So if you happen to be a social media manager taking advantage of this 5-day challenge, and you have more than 5 clients you're working with, may have to switch in and out. But the 5 is on Instagram, but it's just through your personal. But they do have a business page option. So really make sure that you're on the right page there. But app-wise, you should be good. they're great for monitoring. You can set up notifications to make sure that you're getting all the information you need. Make sure you're not missing a comment. I mean, the bad part is you put out all this great content and then you don't have a chance for anyone to comment or see it because you're not responding. So you want to make sure that is being done as well. And then probably my old faithful and the one I've used for years and seen change a lot is Hootsuite. And if you look it up, which there is a link on here, you can put up to 3 social media platforms for free. And then you can put unlimited for like $9.99 a month. So it is a really good deal if you're going to use it. But a lot of my clients, have all their platforms on it and they use it. There's an app, so you can use it from a mobile device. You can bulk upload. There's a lot of different things that you can do based on which one is right for you. So you may have the free version, which you don't have as much capability, but then you say, okay, it's worth the $9.99 a month to do that. So for example, you can link your Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram all on Hootsuite and schedule all those out at a certain time to that specific platform. So it's really great is, the message might be different in each one of them, but at least you have that content up there. Even the paid version even gives you like a nice little calendar. So you can look at that and say, okay, I do have something 3 to 5 days a week. I don't have, 10 things on one day, those kinds of things you can really look at and be more organized. So your need for a content calendar might just go over to Hootsuite and use that. So it really depends on your need, but I definitely think you should check out all of those different platforms that I use. I use all of them. You don't have to use all of them, but finding out which is your best fit is really great and the best way you're going to use for your organization. The other one is I did several tips. Just some things that keep me organized, keep me going, keep my content consistent, which is so important when it comes to social media. So really the big thing is the calendar. It's probably the #1 tool that is let go when people stop working with me. So we may work together full service. I'm doing all their social media. Then we get down to a point where I'm doing more training on teaching them how to use different platforms. I'm still helping a little bit. Then we get down to the basic package where we're just strategizing together. So we're still using that calendar and I'm putting it up there. We're working together and they're working off a calendar. And then they might go, okay, I'm ready to do this by myself. And I usually check in with people after about 30 days. And the #1 thing people tell me is, I love it. I'm doing good. I feel confident, but I'm not using the calendar. And sometimes I struggle with that because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put for content. And so I hate that because the calendar is kind of one of those necessary evils. It's one of the things that people don't like to use, but if you just dedicate, and sometimes we literally take 10 minutes on these basic coaching calls and bust out a calendar. So you're not as you get used to it and as you get after a whole year of this, and you can just look back at the calendar from the year before and see what you were doing. So it doesn't take a ton of time, but it is so worth it. But it's probably the #1 thing that people neglect is the calendar. But I would, if you're going to commit to anything in 2017, commit to using a content calendar. So schedule, at least 30 days. You can do more or less. I have clients that do it they commit once a week and they sit down for 2 hours on a Monday morning and they bust out the next 7 days. Or they sit down at the end of a month and bust out the next 30 days of the next month. So whatever works for you when it comes to scheduling. Sometimes we know things so far in advance that we can schedule, or we have that manpower to schedule. Sometimes we have a great intern over the summer. I've had a time where we've had an intern over the summer and they've scheduled us through the end of the year. So those kinds of things, make sure that your content is consistent because it's already scheduled out and already ready to go. Of course, once you schedule it, you can always go and edit it. You can delete it. You can get completely rid of it. So you don't have to worry about just because you put it out there and scheduled it that it's going to stay out there permanently. You can delete it before it's posted, or edit it if you need to. The big thing for me too is monitoring. You must make sure you're looking at your accounts. So there's all those applications I was telling you about before, they all have different notification settings. So I challenge you to go in and see how you're being notified and see what you like. Some of my clients are like, please get rid of the email. I hate getting the emails every day about what's going on. And then others say, if I got an email, I would know what was going on. So we sometimes have to change things depending on the platform we're using and where we are in our organization organization and who needs to see that. But I do recommend, depending on the organization, making sure somebody is assigned to monitoring that all the time, because the worst type of marketing is when it turns into bad customer service and we're not getting back to people quick enough, or we're not answering their questions, because then other people see that and then they realize, okay, well, this isn't a platform that they're even using, because they're, they must be automating it and not even looking at it. So you don't want it to look like that. You want to make sure that people feel like it is a platform where you are interacting with them. And you can turn it on and off. So if something isn't working or something starts working for you, you're just committed to it, just turning it off and on with a notification. So hopefully that you feel confident about this challenge and being able to move forward with your social media. I really hope to see, I'm going to keep checking in with everybody. I hope to see in 30 days that you're seeing more increasing traffic on your social media platforms, more likes, more followers, increased traffic to your website. Check all that stuff out for me. And I'm going to challenge you to do that in about 30 days, is compare that this past 30 days to the 30 days prior and see if there has been any kind of changes, because I really do think that you're going to see indirect and direct benefits of consistent social media posting. And so I challenge you to try to, again, commit 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day to your social media, especially during this challenge. You've already started it. You're already 5 days into starting it, so continue to do that. It's still, again, not too late to share with your friends. So if you see that you know somebody, go to the Facebook page and check it out and share our event. It's going to be up till January 31st. There's plenty of time. If you missed a day, or if you're catching this on an off day, please go back. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to be on Facebook Live later today, probably the last time I go on live this week. But I'll probably check in a couple times in the next couple weeks as people continue that challenge, because they may have started a different day. If you want to continue this conversation, discuss more things, go over to our closed group, Social Media Marketing Made Simple, and post a question. Myself or somebody in there will get back to you and really start engaging, networking, those kinds of things that are also important to business success. And if you are ready to really execute and move forward, I'm excited to launch a virtual retreat that's going to be happening on January 26th. And so that's going to be 1 to 3 p.m. And I'm excited because it's going to get you to really focus in on the next 30, 60, and 90 days of your social media content. So we're going to kind of go back through all this, but more in depth, and you'll be able to see some of the proven methods and processes that I use every day, as well as what I have my clients using that make them successful at things. And so we're going to have a lot of discussion and engagement. We're going to have a live webinar that you can come into for the virtual retreat, as well as it's going to be recorded. So you'll be able to go back and watch it too, or catch it later if you're unable to catch it live. So hopefully, if I don't see you later today on the Facebook Live, I see you at the virtual retreat. You'll be getting an email about that next week to sign up for an early bird special as well for that. So I'm so excited that you completed this challenge. Air high five to completing the challenge. No one else says they're proud of you today. I'm proud of you for sticking with it and at least watching the last 5 days of videos. And hopefully you committed to that 15 to 30 minutes a day to get your social media to the next level. I'll see you later.